Welcome to this evening's The Pitching In Isthmian Premier League game, Margate versus Cheshunt. I'm Eric Barrett and I'm with
Charlotte Richardson. Good evening everyone, thank you for joining us for another live stream. Our tech is up and running and we're delighted to have your company, whether you're a Margate supporter or perhaps following the visitors this evening. It's a long old journey to make on a Tuesday evening, but we will be streaming the whole 90 minutes for you. Eric, give me a preview of this evening's game.
It's going to be an interesting affair. Cheshunt coming off the back of FA Cup disappointment, losing 2-1 to Cambridge City. Margate coming off a good result, a 0-0 draw away to Leatherhead. So I can see Margate having their tails up for this. Charlotte, what are you predicting the scores to be?
Right, I am backing the Gate, even though they've had to change their defensive formation this evening to keep a clean sheet. I'm going to go 2-0 to the Gate. How about you?
I'm going to go for a clean sheet as well, 2-2. So a 1-0 win to Margate. Cameraman Steve has gone for 3-1 to Margate.
There we go then, plenty of predictions going on. And Ben Swift said to us in the post-match interview last week, didn't he, how desperate the Gate were to keep a clean sheet, and they did that away at Leatherhead at the weekend. But there is a change to the back four. Eric, do you want to talk us through the starting 11 for the Gate this evening?
Yeah, so number 1 we have Bailey Vose, 2 Jack Richards, 3 Jay Porter, 4 Reece Prestige, 5 Liam Friend, 6 Captain Ben Swift, 7 Connor Evans, 8 Archie Burnett, 9 John Ufa, 10 Freddie Monker, and 11 Gilles Loney, Toby Bancroft, who's just had his loan period extended for another month, which is really good news.
And also a new name on the bench for Margate this evening as well, Eric.
Yep, so we got Owen Calamere, goalkeeper, number 13, Samuel Igoli, number 14, Noel Layton at number 17, 15 Joshua Steele, and 16 Luke Carey. Samuel Igoli, a new signing in the week.
Yeah, really good news for Margate. I think with the injury to Chris Sessignon, Jay Saunders moved really quickly to add to his defensive personnel, and he gets added to the bench for tonight's game. And I guess that's, I suppose, the biggest talking point of the starting 11 this evening. Jack Richards slotting into that right back role. Out of position for him, it does show how light the Margate squad is, that they can't rotate and get a defensive player in there, but I'm sure he'll be adept, and with Swift and Friend helping Marshall as well, it's a thing to keep an eye on as the 90 minutes unfold. He's already going to be involved in the action. He came on as a substitute, didn't he, last week, and whipped in that delightful ball for Swifty's bullet head. It was a great finish, which earned the Margate a really important point, and the unbeaten run, importantly, continues as well. There's not many teams in the league that can say they've enjoyed an unbeaten start, and I'm sure, again, this evening that will be one of the main goals for the management team, won't it, to keep that momentum going. Yeah,
from a spectator point of view, certainly exciting to have such attacking flair playing at right back today. Look forward to seeing how that unfolds. So Charlotte, do you want to run us through the Cheshunt side?
Yes, certainly will. So in goal for the visitors this evening, we had the former Wingate and Finchley goalkeeper Shane Gore, then at number 2 Mascon Fraser, Tanaser Abraham, the skipper Taylor Miles, alongside Taylor McKenzie in defence. Adam Crofer, Isaac Newton and Giuseppe Ray make the midfield, supported by David Knight, Mohamed Kamara and Jamie Reynolds up top. Will be an interesting game because obviously the visitors, like you say, will want to bounce back from the disappointing FA Cup exit, and the visitors have actually started the brighter, I would say, so far in these opening few minutes.
Yep, still early days, but they certainly started lively. Obviously a long journey down here to Margate, not easy on a Tuesday evening, but fair play to them. Craig Edwards, the gaffers, obviously got them up for it tonight.
And I suppose another quick change to the formation. It's good to see Archie Burnett returning, slotting into midfield after sustaining an injury. He was very impressive in the game against Hornchurch, pulling off a display much more mature than his 17 years might suggest, as he's on the ball now, looks at his options, plays back to the skipper, Ben Swift, as Jack Richards plays that long searching ball to John Ufa. It's a tall defensive lineup, isn't it, that John Ufa is going to have to battle against this evening. Noel Layton on the bench for Margate, not fit enough, I imagine, to feature in Jay Saunders' decision-making process to start the game, as the ball is hooked over, but luckily Bailey Vose is quick and alert to it, as you need to be in these early phases. The Gate do not want to be conceding in the opening 10 minutes or at all, obviously.
No, it was interesting to hear manager Jay Saunders after the game against Leatherhead, Noel Layton coming off the bench, getting booked within a couple of minutes of coming on, very stylistic for him to put his mark on the game as soon as coming back. But Jay Saunders did say he hasn't yet trained before that game as well, so I think he's certainly been saved a little bit trying to get his match fitness back through playing. Yeah,
certainly it's a sign of the times of how light the squad is that Noel was named as a substitute, as the visitors again looking really, really bright and sharp as Jay Porter comes in with a crunching tackle and wins the throw-in. Important now for the Gate to steady the ship a little bit and take a bit of a hold of this game.
Yeah, it's important for a side to set their stall out early and get in possession here and get a few passes underway. Porter clipping the ball forward to John Ufa. He's certainly developed a lot in the last few games playing in that role as centre forward, holding up play there.
Yeah, it is a tough role, isn't it, that number 9, and it's been spoken about a lot in the opening weeks of the pre-season. John Ufa slotting into a role that's unfamiliar to him, but as you can see, the centre-back pairing there, they have plenty of height, plenty of physicality, so it'll be interesting to see how that battle ensues over the 90 minutes this evening. I think that important press is going to be so important at the moment. The Gate just a little bit off it. It was so impressive last week how quickly they closed down the ball, and you can see the number 3 there got acres of room on the left-hand side. I'm sure they've done their homework. I'm sure they know that Jack Richards isn't a natural left-back. So I think they need to be alert to if the ball gets pinged out there and the left-back has all the time in the world to whip across, and it could prove a bit fatal as Toby Bancroft there is fouled. Easy decision for the referee, and we might as well take this opportunity to say to people tuned in, we do not charge for the coverage here on Gate TV, but we would ask if you'd like to show your support to the club as a token of thanks, maybe the equivalent to what you would have spent on a ticket, you can do so. We have put a link up to our 12th man scheme. All the money that we raise from tonight's coverage will go to the play-in budget. So if you'd like to support us, if you'd like to say a thank you for the free live stream, you can do so via that means. As the ball again gets charged down into the left-hand flank, Reece Prestige looking to pick up play. Nice pass and play from Cheshunt, quite similar to the way that Margate like to play as Barnett picks up the ball.
Yeah, I understand we've got a few Cheshunt fans tuning in today. Just to mention, although the donation does go to a Margate playing budget, you would have played us after that comes in, so feel free to contribute to the kitty.
I think it's really important, isn't it, at the moment? The EFL has started its Let's Fans In campaign, a petition. It's important to support football in whatever way you can.
Evans sticking across towards the back post, well cleared there by the captain, Taylor Miles. Sorry to interrupt you, Sean.
No, not at all, not at all. I'm just having a little read through the Matchday magazine, which again you can download for free on the website. It's a great ball whipped in there. Unfortunately, no one able to get on the end of it, although Bancroft was looking very interested. Again, that's exactly what you highlighted, Eric. The attacking flair that Richards can offer you in that right back role.
Yeah, it's really good to see crossing from deep there. We just need the Margate attackers to recognise those balls and might be coming in a little bit early and perhaps make those runs appropriate to those early deliveries there.
There's another long searching ball is going to be easily gathered by Gore. I think Margate needing to switch it up a little bit. The long direct balls obviously can be quite useful, but we know there's a lot of attacking pace in the Margate starting 11, and I'm going to get the names right, aren't I, this week as well? Connor Evans was a real live wire in the second half against Hornchurch, and it'd be great to see him kind of keep that intensity up for the whole 90 minutes. If you're tuned in this evening as well and you might want to share a message of support, you can do, whether it be on Twitter, Facebook or on the YouTube channel itself. I want to do a quick shout out to a very special person who I know is tuned in this evening, Ryan Day, who's already messaged, come on the Gate. Thank you for joining us this evening, Ryan. Hope you're enjoying the match in the comfort of your home.
Good to see a good number of supporters here today at Hartsdown Park this evening as well.
Well, it's such a privilege, isn't it, to be able to go through a turnstile and support your club in the flesh. I don't think it's something we'll ever take for granted again, and it's something that's been denied to lots of Kent football fans who are a couple of tiers above. So it's great to see people, still showing that support and still buying that ticket and coming to a ground. Because we might try our best, Eric, but I still don't think you can beat being at being on a terrace or being up in a really windy gantry that blows us to pieces. As Jay Porter there gets a good strong head on it. The seconds though is gathered up. The ball player spending a lot of time in the air as Ufa plays a quick short ball into Evans.
Well there. Finds Evans. Evans bearing in the 18-yard box, cross to the back post, but no one's there to pick it up. But it's kept in play here. Bancroft crosses, well headed away, but the danger's not gone. And it falls to Evans just inside the 18-yard box. He's challenged and it goes out for a throw-in deep in the Cheshunt half.
Great thinking there by the youngster Burnett to find Evans on the right-hand side, and that was just served on an absolute plate. Just needed one little touch there, and I don't think there could have been too much Gore could have done, but good positive attacking play by Margate, who've got the contingent, giving them plenty of support behind goal.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Bancroft gambling there, getting right in at the back post, because we are a little bit light on attackers in the centre of the pitch, and so you really do need the wingers to step up and act as that supporting striker in those circumstances.
Well, yeah, it was initially quite a heavy touch by Evans, but he's got the pace to cover that up and then obviously make the delivery in. It was just absolutely screaming to be tapped home as Cheshunt looked to clear their lines. The strong header on there, the aerial threat of Mohamed Kamara is quite clear to see, even in these opening few minutes. And the conditions are dry. It's pretty blowy here, and we know at Hartsdown Park it can often be a case of a game of two halves, really, making sure that you manage the blustery conditions as best as you can. I'm sure that's something the visitors will be well aware about. I'm sure they were delighted when they got the trip to Margate on a Tuesday evening. Like you say, it's a very, very long journey to make, but no signs of any lack of sharpness here. They've put on a good contest so far.
Yeah, they're a strong side. They've had quite a good start to the season. Like I said, it is 8th v 9th tonight, both equal on 6 points tonight, but Margate have played an extra game as Cheshunt were occupied in FA Cup duty on Saturday, but certainly 3 points here for the Gate will help them push on further up the table.
As Moncur is on the ball there, this is a great opportunity for Richards to drive forwards as gaps appear. He looks to whip a great ball in, but Gore is there off his line quickly to gather a very experienced goalkeeper there.
Yeah, this wind has just picked up here at Hartsdown Park, and so it's quite hard to judge your crosses putting them in at the moment, and also for the goalkeepers with their clearances. I think they're just getting used to the conditions here.
That's opportunities though that Richards is going to lap up, isn't he? The opportunity to bound forward and whip balls in, looking a threat already for Margate in this new position, slotting in at right back in place of the injured Chris Sessignon, who picked up a hamstring injury away at Leatherhead. Hopefully one that won't keep him out for too long, but with kind of those sort of hamstring muscle injuries, it does tend to be a good few weeks out. And the first corner for the visitors, something that manager Jay commented on, wasn't it, last week? He was impressed with the way that Margate improved upon their defending from set pieces. So as we can see, Friend and Swift are marshalling the troops, organising everyone.
Yeah, Margate are going to have to be organised here defensively. I know that Adam... Oh, a great header. Hits the crossbar. Margate survive a scare. Opportunity still there for Cheshunt with a shot from distance. Touched over the crossbar. Margate survived that.
Yeah, very similar to the bullet header from Swift last week. Kamara getting a real touch there. He managed to escape the Margate captain in the area. Again, that aerial threat we've already mentioned is quite apparent to see, and a warning there as the crossbar absolutely rattled round Hartsdown Park. And is it the skipper, Miles, stepping up? He signals to his teammates, right-footed delivery in, goes very, very long. Friend manages to get an important touch. Looked like a foul on Porter, or maybe I'm a bit... But my blue tinted glasses, you have to rein me in.
No, you're right. Taylor Miles is on set pieces. He scored a consolation goal, a really good free kick against Cambridge City in the FA Cup on Saturday.
He switches it up to take another succession of...
Yeah, third corner in a row. Third time unlucky, hopefully. Cross comes in, another powerful header.
Kamara escaping far too easily there again from the Margate defenders.
Yeah,
he looks such a threat, doesn't he?
The Frenchman looks really dangerous in the air there, and it's something that Margate are going to have to tighten up on those set pieces.
And they look to play from the back. Voss picking out Friend.
Yep.
He goes back, and there's a high press there.
Yeah. Oh, that is dangerous there from Vose. He survives though. Finds Swift. Swift's got space to carry the ball forward.
I mean, it's a really good high press from Cheshunt this evening, putting plenty of pressure on the Gate, who eventually do pass it along. John getting a really important touch. Can Evans apply some pressure? It looks like he can. The defender.
Yeah, it certainly takes up a lot of energy from sides playing this high press, and it seems like they're not lacking any energy following their FA Cup endeavours on the weekend. But is it possible they can maintain that level of intensity? Fraser clearing forward, can't quite find a yellow shirt, but it falls to one. at the second attempt. Opportunity here, shooting from distance. It's blocked and goes out for another corner to Cheshunt.
Massive gaps between the Margate defence and midfield. No Reece Prestige, no Archie Barnett offering any kind of shielding, leaving the Margate defence looking quite exposed at the moment, and the visitors winning another corner. Jack Richards is on the post, keeping close watch of that, and again the visitors set up with that kind of marshalled line-up.
Yeah, I want to see Reece Prestige stamping his authority in that defensive midfield position on this game. Haven't quite seen it just yet. Burnett being called back in the box to carry out some defensive duties for this corner. It's a good delivery towards the 6-yard box, and it seemed to have come off a blue head and out for another corner.
Concentration levels are going to have to remain really, really high for Margate now. Alert to the runners coming into the box, and the skipper again has got a decent delivery on him.
It's coming! It's coming! Get your head on it!
Yeah, Taylor Miles crosses towards the back stick this time. Header's not met cleanly. A cross comes in, but Vose commands his area and gathers up the ball.
Right, a bit of a breather there for Margate, who have been under a considerable amount of pressure from a succession of corners. I'm sure Cheshunt are fully aware that it has been a slight vulnerable spot for the Margate's otherwise unbeaten start to the league campaign. It was something we saw consecutively, didn't we, in the FA Cup tie, as the offside flag rules John Ofua's run out, and that's going to be frustrating, isn't it? Because when you're under the cosh like that, you really need to try and make the ball stick up top, and certainly remaining onside, it's really important. The gate just lacking the little bit of sharpness and alertness so far this first half.
So far this season, Margate have started fairly brightly, and I haven't quite seen that sharpness just yet, but hopefully they'll find their feet. Bit of space here in the centre of the park for Cheshunt to turn and get a tack under the way.
Great tackle.
Doing really well just to get a toe on that.
I'll be totally honest, I feel like at the moment the game's passing our midfield by a little bit. I don't know if Barnett's still carrying an injury. It seems like, you know, not really having that stamp of authority.
Having not played on Saturday, the different lineup on Saturday, Burnett missing out for injury, coming back into the side, and maybe it's just a case of the gate finding their rhythm and getting a bit of possession and getting a few passes just to get the tempo right.
Well, I think one of the most impressive points from last week's draw against Hornchurch was the way the Gate were able to pick out possession. They really didn't let Hornchurch have a moment on the ball. They were completely relentless, and they made it a difficult game from pretty much the kickoff to minute 90. So if we can apply that same kind of pressure, hopefully.
Well, that's what I'd like to see. So Hornchurch weren't really in that game, and they went 1-0 up, and perhaps that's an opportunity for Margate, actually. Let Cheshunt control a bit of the possession here and catch them on a transition and perhaps nick a goal. Long ball here aimed towards the number 9. Friend does well to head down. David Knight, not the tallest of targets for the Cheshunt strike force there, so perhaps need to look down the channels or to his feet a bit more for any success. Shane Gore being chased down here. Crofer carrying the ball forward into space, finds the feet of Jamie Reynolds, who's fouled by Jack Richards. A bit of a rash challenge there. It's not the kind of position you want to be conceding free kicks in.
No, a slightly rash tackle there, and I think the visitors are taking plenty of confidence from the amount of dead ball situations they're able to carve out, as a ball is again hooped under and Richards able to cut it out, and it should be a throw-in rather than the corner. But Cheshunt having probably a little bit too much their own way so far in the opening 15 minutes of this evening's Isthmian League game. The fixtures are coming thick and fast, as we know. It's been pretty much a Saturday-Tuesday schedule for as long as we can remember. It feels like we've had a lot of games so far, as it looks like it's going to be a long ball thrown in.
Yep, Isaac Newton there with the long throw.
And will the seconds be swallowed up? It is Nut Kamara. And good communication there between Friend and Voss, which is really, really good to see. Voss looking at his options there. He throws it long to Richards.
This is where there's an opportunity. Richards being so good on the ball, he can be given balls like that, and I'm sure that he'll manage them quite well. The pressure was well applied there from Cheshunt, but Margate have found a route out, and they're scampering down this left flank now with Porter in possession.
Yeah, let's see what Margate can do. Ben Swift picking out a really good pass there to avert the danger, and Porter had the space. Probably not many forward options for him there, but Moncur looks to loft it over, and I'm just not sure whether that's the right option. at the moment for Margate. They're probably better getting it down on the floor and interchanging quick passes as Moncur spots Gore off his line and gets the shot.
That's good from Moncur. He hasn't really been in the game so far, but then to have the confidence to have a shot from distance and get it on target, I think that would boost his confidence a little bit.
We really like to see it, don't we, when Margate play the ball on the deck and interchange sharp passes. It's a really good way to break down teams, but not seen quite enough of it so far this game.
Good clearance there from Richards, kicking it well into the car park and bounces over into Hartsdown Park. It's dark in there, so hopefully we'll be able to recover that ball.
Again, there's lots of communication going on between the Margate defensive lineup as another long throw-in comes in and Swift gets ahead on it. That second ball is headed by Margate. It's an aerial battle in that penalty box. It's a bit of head table tennis by the looks of it.
Yeah. Really difficult throw-ins to defend. Not only is Newton getting a lot of distance on it, he's got a very flat trajectory and they've got a very tall and powerful candidate to throw it to, with the Frenchman Mohamed Kamara looking to get on the end of them, so that's going to be a real weapon that Margate are going to have to defend against strongly throughout this game.
It's not very often that Ben Swift looks small, but up against Kamara I'd say he's probably got 3 or 4 inches on him, so that's going to be a good aerial battle between them over the 90 minutes. But at the moment, of course, it remains 0-0 as Ufwa picks up play, switches feet. Is there any overlap to go to? He's driving into that left-hand corner, but not enough options around him at the moment as well. That kind of movement off the ball is just as important, and the visitors get a throw-in.
Yeah, it looked like Cheshunt players pressing from the back there. Ufwa in a bit of trouble with 4 Cheshunt players around him there. Didn't have many options, and the deflection, the deflected cross come back off Ufwa and out for a Cheshunt throw.
Let's see if Margate now can get a bit of a flow into this game as Bancroft looks for another hooked, ambitious ball over. Moncur's going to give it a good chase, but not too much for the Cheshunt right back to have to worry about. And thank you to everyone who's gotten in touch so far. We've had Luca tweet us in a photo from where he's tuned in this evening, brought the new Margate town top the other day and awaiting its arrival, but now following the club, and here is the journey towards being a fan. Thank you so much for your support. And obviously, yeah, we did unveil the new kits here on Gate TV a few weeks ago, and they've been received incredibly well, and it's great to know that actually they've helped us recruit a few more fans in the making as well. And we've had Henry, who's a Cheshunt fan. It's great to have these facilities to watch a game, especially on a Tuesday night, 2 hours away. Appreciate it. We'll definitely be donating. Thank you, Henry. Your side are doing a great job so far. There is no signs of fatigue from a 2-hour journey, although at the moment it is Evans on the ball, playing it
just
nicely.
livening up there. That's good to see, really. Porter wanting to get on the ball, and he has, carrying that into the Cheshunt half and wins a throw-in in a good position.
Just good to see the Gate maybe turning things up a notch now as Porter looks at his options, finds Moncur, who exchanges passes with Barnett. A great little feed into Bancroft, and this is better from Margate, stringing a few consecutive passes together as the delivery comes in, but just not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough.
That very impatient there. Jay Saunders telling Bancroft to keep that passing going, because it is a really good football move. He just needs to keep possession a little bit and work their way towards the goal, not look to cross too early. The cross was far too deep, missed the Margate attackers, and Cheshunt survived a potential Margate opportunity there.
I think it's just about the Gate playing to their strengths and keeping the ball on the deck is important. And at the moment, as we're seeing with John Ufwa, like those long balls searching forward against 2 centre-backs who have got a few inches on him, it's just not working effectively enough. And one strength we do know Margate have is their ability to pass the ball around, and players who can see a pass, have that vision, and are able to execute it as well. But Cheshunt definitely have come with a game plan this evening, and so far it's working for them. It's up to Margate to disrupt the flow of the opening half so far.
Profile with a clearance, didn't make much distance on it, and Moncur scraps to pick up possession, but him and Prestige get a bit mixed up there, and now there's a break on with Kamara driving it forward and shooting from distance, dragging the shot just wide. Vose had that well covered, seeing that fly past the post.
Again, just kind of a needless opportunity for the visitors there. A decision needed to be made between the Gate players. Just shout at the top of your lungs if it's your ball. It's inviting the danger at the moment, as Swift again makes the clearance, but it's picked up. Margate just not at the races so far.
Abrahams plays to Miles, who looks to float a ball into the box, but it's poor and travels straight through to goalkeeper Vose. Vose this time throwing out to the left flank with Porter in space. Margate need to be a bit more cautious in possession in their own last third here.
Just looking at the options really, who's running onto the ball, who wants the pass, and that intensity and tempo that was there last week is something that Margate would hope to build on as the ball is hooked by Moncur. It bounces over his head. Can Evans get the second? Cheshunt just winning everything at the moment, whether it be on the deck or up in the air.
Yeah, a little nudge from Evans. Referee doesn't give it, and the ball goes back to Gore, who shanks his clearance out for a throw-in. Margate got a bit of respite here as Richards picks the ball up to take the throw-in. Quite a rare occurrence seeing Richards taking these throw-ins. A stand-in right back tonight. Richards looking for his options.
I mean, it's just the lack of movement at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's quite
he's
easy
elected
to
a long throw here, and it's easy for the Cheshunt attackers who swallowed it up. Luckily, possession's turned back over to the Gate. It's a bit of to me to you here, isn't it, in terms of possession? Chance here for Newton, who's scurrying forward through the centre of the pitch, plays the ball out towards Knight. He's got his back to goal, holding it up here, looking for a teammate. He finds Fraser, who dinks inside, and he's fouled cynically, and again another free kick in a good position.
I think if you were the Margate management, you'd be having a few questions right now about what is going on with the Gate's tempo, like really sort of lacking all over, to be honest with you. It's almost like they haven't turned up.
I think also credit to the Cheshunt tactics. Craig Edwards asking his team to set out with a very high intensity and almost catching Margate a little bit off guard in these early stages in this game, and it's paying dividends, but without the goal so far.
Yeah, I guess it's just a level of intensity, isn't it? They're winning back possession. They seem to be the first onto the second balls as they whip the ball in now.
Yeah, good cross from Miles, and it looked like it come off a couple of heads there, and the referee's given a goal kick.
Yeah, it was the centre-back Mackenzie getting a touch there. A few warning signs for Margate so far this half. I think just that energy that we're so used, that work rate, we've become really, really accustomed to. Just the movement off the ball with the throw in there. There was no one really wanting to get on the ball, and it was just inviting the pressure. And if you come across a ruthless opposition like we saw last week with Hornchurch, they're going to snap up an opportunity eventually as Barnett looks to play a long ball in. It's going to be overrun, and the offside flag again, which is just not going to help Margate if your attack are not alert to the opportunities. It's just
it was good to see
frustrating.
That opportunity though presented from the intelligence of Prestige there, who received the ball off goalkeeper Vose with a really clever turn and picked the ball out to centre midfield. Unfortunately Evans was offside. He doesn't need to be with the pace that he has and that high line that Cheshunt are holding.
Oh yeah, with his pace he can afford a couple of yards and he'd still probably beat his man. I thought he was a real bright spark in that second half against Hornchurch, and as we were entering the dying minutes, both he and Ufa were still able to cover so many blades of grass. The fitness that they have, the energy they have in the tank is pretty impressive.
Yeah, but that's what you said earlier. It's a small Margate squad, and for the players to keep up the tempo they have been doing over the games, with games Saturday, Tuesday, it's going to be really difficult, and we are going to start to see a bit of a slower start from Gate, and they're going to have to be a bit cleverer about how they present themselves in these early stages of the game to try and get an edge over their opposition.
Yeah, very good point there made by Eric as another delivery comes into the Margate box.
Love that jewelry,
Yeah, you can really see an intensity from Cheshunt's side, a real strength throughout the side. I think that's reflected in their manager, Craig Edwards, a former professional boxer. He certainly likes his teams to match his ethic around intensity and aggression.
It is very blowy up here in the gantry, but great to be able to bring you coverage on Gate TV. And thank you to supporters of Cheshunt who have gotten in contact on our social media pages. It's brilliant to be able to watch a game from home, says Jack, and not have to travel from Cheshunt on a Tuesday night. Thank you guys for your hospitality. You're very welcome. We appreciate it's a very strange time for football. It's strange circumstances to enjoy a game, but we're glad you are tuned in. And at the moment, it's a real good little battle up.
Yeah, opportunity now. Margate attacking. Moncur occupying a little pocket in the centre of the pitch and plays it forward towards Bancroft. A really good jinking run down this flank. Strong challenge there from Fraser. as Bancroft is dispossessed. But Prestige is really starting to up his game here and getting his engine going. He's really getting on this ball, winning those 50-50s and cutting out those through balls. So it's really good to see, and I think he's the linchpin that really helps start to get Margate moving.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic description. He's a really influential player for Margate. He's got that experience. He can have a real impact on the game. And as you see, they're beginning to break up play a little bit more, help drive Margate forward, and a really bright little bit of play there from Bancroft, the best we've seen of him so far this half. Great that manager Jay Saunders was able to secure his services for another month. And you just know with a player like that coming from a Football League club, he's probably got quality that can help you break the deadlock, even if you haven't been enjoying the best of opening halves. He's definitely got it in his locker. As Cheshunt again pick up possession in the middle of the park.
Kamara playing it backwards this time, but I think in the last 10 minutes or so Margate have had the better of the game, and that's really good to see as we enter into the final third of this first half.
The ball has spent a lot of time in the air, hasn't it? And as we've seen in little glimpses and patches this half, Margate can play it on the deck. They're a good football inside. Jay has recruited good, decent technical players that can pass the ball around a bit. They can break down sides. We've seen it. We saw it against Cheshunt and Hornchurch. But as I proved on Saturday, it was quite frustrating, that lack of a kind of killer edge against Leatherhead.
That looked like a handball from Jamie Reynolds. The referee doesn't give it, and Margate Cheshunt got an opportunity with a shot from distance. A bit of a snatched effort there from David Knight and a half volley. Thankfully travels wide of the post as Bose looks to collect the ball to take a goal kick.
Yeah, the visitors are buoyant at the moment, probably full of confidence with the string of attacking moves they've been able to piece together so far this half, and any opportunity like that to get an effort on goal, I think it would take something special to beat Bailey Voss at that distance. But again, signs of a team that have probably enjoyed the better of the first half so far.
Yeah, not easy conditions for goalkeepers as well. This wind is swirling round Hartsdown Park, and a sudden gust with a shot, it can be very hard to read for some goalkeepers under lights here.
Brilliant distribution from Voss again. That's a real strength this Margate team are able to enjoy since he signed for the club. And again, in pre-season we were saying, weren't we, how important the recruitment of a goalkeeper was. Important to have that consistency in that number one role. We took a heavy knock against Hornchurch last week, but shook it off and was able to collect that much sought after clean sheet on Saturday.
Ball into Afua, who does a great turn and shoots with his left foot from distance. Was sailing into the top corner, and it's clawed out expertly by goalkeeper Shane Gore onto the crossbar and out.
That's both crossbars that have been rattled at both ends of the pitch here at Hartsdown Park. A beautiful curling effort, but Gore rising and getting a really important hand to it as Cheshunt looked to catch Margate out. It's another good ball, Swift there. He's such a rock for Margate in defence. But wouldn't that have been an absolute worldie if that had gone in?
It seems like John Ufer only scores worldies and pens.
As Evans picks up play, he looks to play a ball to
Yes,
Ufer.
this is where Ufer is really dangerous. Look at his pace. He's able to get there well ahead of the Cheshunt defender Crofer, and Crofer has no choice but to bring Ufer down. It's a real outlet there, and Margate have got a free kick in a really good position.
Honestly, Ufer collects any pass like that and makes it an opportunity, doesn't he?
I wasn't even watching. I was confident he was getting there.
And obviously inducing the foul there, it means that Margate can look to potentially put a set-piece delivery in. We saw it work last week against Hornchurch, as it is, of course, Richards. We know he's got a wand of a foot. What can he produce for Margate? Because it would be great to break the deadlock, especially at this stage in the half.
It's hit firmly towards the back stick, a bit too hard for Friend to control. The opportunity falls for a shot for Swift, but it goes well over the bar. But just going back to that save from Shane Gore, he absolutely clawed that out of the top corner. Those are the sorts of saves which wins your team's points in seasons. Let's hope that's not the case tonight.
I was looking at you there, right? Like, put a disclaimer in. We don't want any commentators' curse. But no, it was a really, really decent save. And good to see Ufa, getting those opportunities on goal, launching the shot, having the confidence to do so. is going to be really important for Margate as they look to.
He scored a similar goal like
take the
that
lead.
against Dover Athletic. I think.
He did indeed, yeah.
On his left foot, his so-called weaker foot, and curled it in towards the top corner.
And Margate now have lost their shape slightly, but luckily Friend is able to get an important touch, and hopefully they can reset. No, it goes out for the throw-in, and the game's kind of sparked to life a little bit more now. Certainly a bit more end-to-end, which is what we like to enjoy here in the commentary box. A good battle.
More even, certainly a bit more of a battle. Margate have put up a bit more of a fight here and have had some really good opportunities since, but Cheshunt do look dangerous on the attack. Newton picks the ball up often in that final third and dribbles forward a bit Cazorla-esque.
Well, they know the aerial threat they have, so any opportunity like a throw-in like that, the centre-backs are marching forward. So it does offer, potentially, Margate a chance to hit on the counter-attack if the centre-backs are bombing forward for those free kicks, for those throw-ins. But yeah, certainly they've come with a clear agenda to really test Margate aerially. Not quite sure where the foul occurred there, but that battle up between Friend and
certainly
Kamara.
Not a position you want to be giving away lots of fouls, especially with the height of Kamara and the centre halves in the Cheshunt lineup. But they opt for a short free kick as Fraser cuts inside. Opportunity now for Reynolds, finds the feet of Kamara. Kamara turns well, bit of a battle for possession here. Kamara slides the ball in, but the ball runs through to goalkeeper Voss.
Again, Prestige being a real thorn in McMara now, keeping much closer tabs on the Cheshunt number 10. And that's exactly what Margate need, really. He's proved to be a threat for the visitors so far, especially with the pace of Knight and Reynolds around him. They've created opportunities, but Margate finding their feet a little bit more as the half has gone on, and almost took the lead through a fantastic effort from number 9, John Ufua. Richards there getting an important touch, because otherwise I think Reynolds would have been away there on the left-hand flank. And he's done, credit to him, a decent enough job in that unfamiliar right-back role, as he too is recovering from injury. We're only a few games in that injury list. It can be a bit of a nightmare if you're a non-league manager, especially if your squad is slightly thin.
Yeah, he hasn't looked out of place at that right-back position, as Newton throws the ball in deep, and Margate looking to clear, but a bit of head tennis here.
Yeah, Prestige again, making play very difficult as Ufua uses his body so effectively. He switches to his left foot as Moncur picks out Bancroft. Can he drive towards goal? He snatches
Moncur
a shot
shooting
there.
from distance. The Margate bench frustrated with that pass there from Moncur, slightly behind Bancroft, when really it should have been played into the area in front of him for him to use his pace and get a bit further up the pitch.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be tactically something that Margate can exploit as the game goes on, using the pace of Bancroft and Evans on either side of the flank. When they get the ball and they're on the run, I don't think there's many men that can beat them. Or again, it's useful as well because you're able to get the set piece deliveries, and we know what Richards and others can produce from those opportunities. And Ufua rising high, gets a touch, but Gore is able to touch it.
I think Ufua could have gambled and let that run over his head and get on the end of it. I could see a bit of backspin on that ball from Richards. He's got a lot of quality on those kinds of deliveries, but Ufua preferring to bring it down with his head.
Mara there getting another touch as Jack Richards sweeps up and Voss clears the lines, and Bancroft hopefully will get the touch, puts the pressure on the defender, but not enough, and it looks like a few interchanges between the centre-back pairing. Laced through to the midfield to Reynolds, who finds Isaac Newton, no less. Who thought we'd be graced by Isaac Newton this evening? I bet he gets well bored of hearing that. As Richards finds Prestige on the throw-in. Better play for Margate there as Moncur. Can he find the run of Evans? No, it isn't on. Better decision making there for Margate. That patience is so key.
Burnett, Evans and Moncur all linking up well. Evans getting himself out of a real tight corner there, switches the play well, finds Bancroft. Porter's on the overlap, opportunity to cross, it's blocked, but Porter manages to get the ball back. Prestige looking for a threaded pass, but it falls to the Cheshunt shirt, and now Cheshunt are on the attack.
Credit to Cheshunt there, they defended in numbers as Newton is on the ball, looking very, very dangerous. Those bright pink boots. Can he get a shot on goal? Swift and Friend managed to get the block in, and hopefully Porter will be able to clear the danger. Not. He makes. Oh no, he does. There we go. And that second ball is so important for Margate when those clearances are made long.
Unlucky, Zach. Get your shape again, Zach.
Yeah, I think Margate are finding their feet now. What they're seeing is the possession game which they've enjoyed and the high intensity game, not quite able to deliver at that kind of intensity, so they're looking to pick up a lot more of the second balls and look to take advantage of the transition plays.
And that wasteful opportunity there for Cheshunt. They're picking up possession, they're looking really, really lively, and perhaps could have potentially been a bit more patient themselves there. But luckily for Margate, Bailey Voss was able to collect the ball and release another attacking move. Let's see what Margate can do this half. We know there's certainly a few more gears to go from this team.
Bancroft here, a bit of space on the left flank, cuts inside well.
Heavy touch from Moncur there, unfortunately. You have to credit the visitors though. Any time any of the Margate attackers are in dangerous positions, there's not only one, there's not two, there's three defenders around them. They're making it very, very difficult. Shielding Gore in the Cheshunt goal and looking very organised defensively.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point about how Cheshunt got a bit frustrated earlier and opted for the long ball, and I think that's a testament to how Margate have defended. They have ridden the wave of Cheshunt attacks throughout the early stages of this half, and then have looked a bit more dangerous themselves towards the latter stages.
We've had a few people ask how they can donate to the 12th man scheme as a thanks for the coverage this evening. There is a donation button in our video description, so like I say, if you appreciate the stream, donations are very welcome. Just click that button and it will take you through. Alternatively, you can go to the Margate website. There is a 12th man tab and you can donate there, but the donate button on the YouTube channel is the easiest method that we would suggest.
Long ball there forward from Crowther. He's got a really good delivery on him for a big guy at centre back. Opportunity here for Cheshunt with Kamara on the ball, back to goal, finds the feet of skipper Miles, looking for teammates to play the ball to. He elects to play backwards to Abrahams, the loanee from Dartford.
Yeah, good defensive shape there from Margate. Not really affording Cheshunt an opportunity, a sight on goal, which is important.
You can really see how Margate's attacking players are tucking in behind the Cheshunt attackers here. Evans keeping goal side of his man, and the opportunity now breaks for Afua. Can't quite get possession himself, and again Cheshunt are able to look to build another attack.
It's really quite clear whenever Margate get an attack if the ball's coming to Afua, whereas there's 4 Cheshunt players around him. He's looking very, very isolated. It'll be something I'm sure manager Jay Saunders and his coaching staff will look to reiterate to his teammates to get up and support.
Yeah, it's a tough balance, because obviously I was saying about how Evans and Bancroft are sitting in behind the Cheshunt attack, almost doubling up on defenders. Evans somewhat protecting Richards, who's in the unfamiliar position of right back. And
yeah,
so
that's true.
It's about finding a balance, whether you go for that ultra defensive cover to try and protect the goal, or you press the attack. And I think that's a dilemma for Jay Saunders and his management team to consider, to discuss at half time.
And of course there aren't too many options on the bench, but in terms of attackers, there's Luke Carey and Noel Layton, and I know that manager Jay Saunders is keen to utilise Luke Carey. We saw real glimpses of his potential in pre-season, another really gifted technical player who might be called upon at some stage this evening. We will have to wait and see, but certainly there is enough talent on that pitch right now to carve out some more clear-cut opportunities, and we've seen little patches of it, but probably not as much as we would have liked. As Richards is picking up the ball, looking to have a throw in. He's got Moncur, Afua and Evans all looking interested. Backed up by Barnett in the middle of the pitch. He elects to throw it to Afua. And possession is picked up. And it's a shame not to capitalise on those opportunities when you're in dangerous areas of the pitch. It's something, again, that I think the game will look to improve upon.
Yeah, I think it's difficult for players like Richards, who are standing in as right back tonight, and then taking throw-ins and then receiving the ball is an unfamiliar scenario for him, and it's something that he's going to get used to over time the more he plays there. But on that occasion he gave possession away.
As Reynolds drives towards the left-hand corner, gets the cross in, wins his team, a throw in, and we know what's going to happen here, don't we?
You've got Isaac Newton defying the laws of gravity with his missile throw-ins.
Well done, bravo Eric, that's got to be worth a donation. But yeah, we know exactly what's going to happen. The troops are being marshalled forward into the Margate penalty areas. The long throw comes in, long run up. It's a looped effort and hopefully should be cleared.
Not so far, and Richards clearing really well. This is where Margate may have an opportunity. Unfortunately, it held up a bit in the air there to the misfortune of Ufua, but Evans muscled off the ball there. He's really got to look after it a bit better, as has Miles, who fortunately for Margate plays a poor pass which runs through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, really, really fortunate there. You've just got to have the desire to win the ball, and in the manner that the Cheshunt skipper Miles has looked pretty impressive in the middle of the park, plenty of energy. Can't take it for granted that if the ball's at your feet it's going to stay there for long. So again, Margate looking to maybe just become a bit more alert, be aware of movement going on around them as well, and not let the visitors have it too much their own way. As Kitman Allen announces that there will be 1 minute, which I'm sure probably the management team at Margate are grateful for. I'm sure some stern words will be said at the break. Just a bit disappointing, really, having built on a really good performance against Hornchurch, gone away to Leatherhead and got a clean sheet there. Just maybe expecting a little bit more of Margate playing to their own strengths.
Yeah, well, just sticking to the positives, a clean sheet, touch wood, in this first half, and also there has been a couple of glimpses of really good attacking play in the latter stages of this half as well, and there may be another opportunity that Porter can lead an attack on now as well.
Yeah, certainly building on the positives there. There's plenty of gears to go for this Margate team. We know they've got the work rate and we know they've got the fitness as well. And whether there'll be some changes later on in the game, but even if it sticks with this 11, there should be more, and there will be more to come on Gates TV. The score is 0-0 here at Hartsdown Park. Do join us for the second half. We will see you shortly. get that emotional. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to Hartsdown Park and Gate TV. It's Margate 0, Cheshunt 0. A fairly even first half, fairly entertaining. Hopefully we'll see some goals in this second half, Charlotte.
Yeah, let's hope so. I think maybe one of the words I would use, and I feel like the negative one out of the pair of us, but slightly underwhelming first half for Margate, certainly when we compare it to the last outing here at Hornchurch. Certainly think we've got a few more gears to go. But 0-0, that's the good thing, I suppose, if you're not even playing at your best, or nowhere near your best, really. But the score is even. Both teams rattled the crossbar. John Ufa with a delightful effort that deserved to go into the back of the net. But Shane Gore in the goal there. So it's all to play for in the second 45. Thank you for joining us on Gate TV. Whether you're a Margate fan or a Cheshunt fan, you are most welcome. You might even just be a football fan who fancies watching a free live stream, and the visitors again early doors getting in and they fire it home.
A terrible, terrible start from Margate with Kamara in acres of space, able to toe punt a ball in from the angle, and Cheshunt take the lead. It's 1-0.
I think I've just done commentator's curse, haven't I, saying that when you're not playing well to still be able to keep it 0-0 and Margate there punished ruthlessly. But there is still plenty of time to play this half. Our score predictions gone out the window. We predicted Margate would keep a clean sheet, and they'd done well, even though, like we were saying, they hadn't really got a grip of the game in the first half. They were still in it, and of course they still are in it now. It's all about the response from Margate. We'll find out a lot about their character. As unfortunately they go a goal behind in the opening, 30 seconds of the second half.
It was a real nothing goal. Cheshunt kicking off brightly from the start of the second half. Margate napping, and it was a fairly basic, simple goal with defenders asleep, and it was easy for Kamara to slot home from the angle.
Well, we credited the visitors for their work rate and their desire, and that front three have looked really, really hungry, and given the Margate back four, particularly Ben Swift and Liam Friend, a real contest in the aerial battle. And it wasn't actually an aerial battle in the end, it was a finish, and Margate again potentially caught napping after that half-time team talk. They give away the foul.
Yeah,
and
really
it's at times like this you look for leadership on the pitch.
Yeah,
you look for your captain and your more experienced players to get a bit of a hold on it, and that's exactly what Margate are going to need to do, as they have gone a goal behind.
Yeah, defensively there, Margate didn't have a straight line, and there would have been an offside flag had they had, but a good defensive header there from Prestige. Margate really needed to switch on to not fall any further behind in this game after a bright start from Cheshunt.
Sometimes it's about being a bit nasty as well. If you're not enjoying the greatest phase, it's about adding that physicality to the game, and certainly I've always said this before in the commentary, haven't I, like when you're the home team there is an onus on you to make it uncomfortable, to make it difficult, and it's something that's potentially been lacking so far in this game. As you can hear, you might be able to pick up in commentary, Cheshunt being very vocal.
Yeah, maybe Margate weren't quite ready from the start. You do see some sides at half-time when they come out, they do a few doggy runs and a few warm-ups beforehand. I didn't see any of that in Margate players. Maybe they caught a little bit flat-footed at the start of that half. That's the only reason I can think of why they started so slowly in those first 30 seconds where they conceded.
We know this team does have character. They have come back from goals behind before. It's a habit manager Jay Saunders won't want his side to get in the routine of, but it will be required this evening. This is a clever little flick on from Moncur, finds Porter. Prestige being cleverly marshalled there by number 10, Kamara. And again, that's been really impressive for me, the work rate across the Cheshunt team, doing their defensive duties. It's all the things that we were saying about Margate last week are sort of flip reverse this week. As the ball goes long down the right-hand flank, Friend able to get a good strong hand on it. Bancroft finds Moncur, gets the chested down.
Bit of space here for Fua. Back to goal, lays it off nicely for Porter. Looking for a little 1-2 at distance here. Fua looking for that return. Looked like the header of the Cheshunt defender came over the top of Ufa. It's play on. Moncur now on this left flank. Opportunity to get a cross in. He elects to keep possession, finds Porter.
As you can see, Cheshunt really keeping their defensive shape, the work rate of goal scorer Kamara. He's got the bit between his teeth, looking to win back possession, but Margate cool and composed, which is what we like to see, as Bancroft on the left-hand side drives towards goal carefully. Again, the skipper doing so well for Cheshunt. He's been about the pitch picking up play, and he finds Jamie Reynolds as the ball makes its way to us. Do we get a touch? No.
The quintessential sweeping roll there from Miles, cleaning up possession there off of Bancroft.
And Ufa having to be careful of that offside trap there, looking for the sort of curled in pass from Prestige, but it wasn't on, and you don't mind that so much if you are in possession, making the right decision. And Ufa is caught by the offside trap. Again, that kind of decision and fluidity lacking as Cheshunt are going to take their time with this. I think this is something I'm going to see a lot more as the half unfolds. The visitors have managed to nab their lead.
Yeah, clever defending there from Cheshunt. A really experienced line-up here for Cheshunt, with many of the players having played at higher levels. You have got centre-back Taylor McKenzie, who's been a pro at Notts County, and he read the game really well there, squeezing the play up as they sort of looking to break the offside trap, to catch him offside.
And Voss, they're able to sniffle out any opportunity for David Knight. It's really important now for Margate to keep their composure. They've gone a goal down. It is disappointing. It was certainly not the start we wanted in the second half.
It's not too dissimilar a position that Margate were in against Hornchurch here at Hartsdown Park, going 1-0 down and then pulling back an equaliser towards the latter stage of the half. So let's hope that Margate have got a bit of that comeback fight in them today and able to perhaps go one better and get a couple of goals here.
I think the thing as well is it's about when you're, you know, we're so lucky to have fans in the ground. It's about putting on a bit of a display and a show of intent for them, and this is better from the gate, playing quickly as Barnett finds the overlapping run of Jack Richards on the right-hand side. Can he drive towards goal? He's certainly got a turn of pace, but the cross doesn't trouble Cheshunt and they're able to clear their lines as Swift plays the ball out for a throw kick. I think the thing as well is for Margate, looking at the strategies, the long ball, Ufa is not going to win those aerial battles up against those two centre-backs, or certainly hasn't done so far this evening, so it will be about keeping the ball down, playing the way that we know Margate can. We've seen it throughout pre-season, we saw it against Hornchurch, you witnessed it against Carshalton. Not letting your opposition bully you into playing in a way that doesn't suit you. As the ball again is too easily picked up by the right back. They have a lovely interchange, and Jay Porter there is alert to the danger. He finds Moncur, who picks up Bancroft. Again, that work rate, it's not one man, it's two man on the Margate players this evening.
Porter finds the throw in inside, finds Burnett opportunity here to pick out a pass. He does, he finds Richards in space, opportunity to cross, he plays it back to Burnett. Margate players entering the box.
Just looking about the decision making, and you can't be sloppy. You've got to make sure your quality is completely on point. And now this is a golden opportunity for Cheshunt to hit on the counter attack, as it's that man.
Kamara's going to shoot. Can't quite catch that, but he's certainly got his tail up, having got a goal early in this second half.
And Voss is looking at his options, whether to play it long, and he launches the ball towards the header. Port, again, great distribution. I say it all the time, it should be a bingo on a scorecard, the amount of time Bailey Voss manages to find one of his teammates. It's a threat, but Margate have to make the most of everything, every little scrap they can to get back into this game. As the offside flag goes up, good defensive shape there, and Margate get the opportunity to launch a attack. They play it short, Prestige on the ball there. Finds Bancroft, and this is better from Margate if they can switch up play a little bit more, get those passing periods, get a bit more possession, as well as Swift charges forwards. We will see a clean sheet at Hartsdown Park this season, I promise. But not this evening, because it is the visitors who take the lead. A clinical finish 30 seconds into the second half as John Ufa again goes for a run, puts pressure on the Cheshunt centre-back and wins his side of corner. much to the dismay of the visitors, but hey-ho, we'll take it. We've said before, who earns his luck sometimes, and let's see if Margate can be ruthless.
Well, it looked like the
make the most of this.
Referee overruled the assistant referee's decision there, seeing something that he didn't. Much to the pleasure of the Margate faithful behind the goal here.
And again, it is that kind of opportunity. Can Margate make it count? It's going to be a right old battle. You can see shirts being pulled and tugged already. As Jack Richards plays the ball in, he finds Swift, who launches it in. Can they get the touch on goal? Nearly. Crying out, but then this time the decision doesn't go the Gates way, when I thought it had taken a deflection off the Cheshunt defender. There we go, that's football, it evens itself out in the end.
I think in the end the shot there from Swift deflected off Evans and out past and wide of the post.
This is better from Margate. You need that hunger and desire to be at 100%, because that's one thing about this league. You can never take a result for granted, and it's going to be a really tight league this year, isn't it? Because it's one of the points he made in pre-season. With the bizarre circumstances of COVID impacted upon pre-season, it's been a real leveller for competition in this league. So if you can put together an unbeaten run, if you can pinch points, even when you're not playing well, it's really, really important, which is why, despite the slow start to the first half, it was good to go in at half-time, 0-0, regroup, get across some important messages and come out for the second half. Not gone to plan so far, but definitely looks like a bit more intensity, would you say, Eric?
Certainly after the slow start to this second half, it does look like Margate are edging back into this game. They did just have a really good opportunity off a corner. The referee doing Cheshunt a favour there, giving them a free kick, and again they're going to take a bit of time. The referee just caught with the ball dropping from a height there, caught him on the face, but I think he's going to be okay.
And let's do a couple more shout-outs. We want to do a shout-out to Derek, who we know is tuned in from home. Can't be with us here at Hartstown Park this evening. It's very, very sorely missed. I always enjoy my pre-match chat with him. Derek, delighted to have your company, even if it is from afar this evening. And Larry, who's also gotten in contact on our Twitter page. He's watching Margate from home, ideal when coming home from work late, which I guess is another bonus of doing the live stream for supporters. It is 1-0. If you are tuned in, maybe you're a Cheshunt fan, enjoying your side's display so far this match. How does it compare to other performances? Do let us know. Are we seeing the best of your team this evening, or is it pretty consistent with displays so far, as the Gate concede another cheap foul? And again, we see the centre-backs heading towards goal. They'll be looking to put some pressure on.
It did look like Kamara went down a bit cheaply himself there. He's a big, strong fella, but that's lack of experience there with Margate conceding a foul. No need to touch the big man there, and again, Cheshunt have got a really good opportunity here. We do know that skipper Miles scored a delightful free kick in the loss to Cambridge City on Saturday. Perhaps it might be a little bit too far out for him to have a go, but I wouldn't put it past him, having seen his effort from Saturday's game.
And Voss is lining up his wall. He's certainly aware of the threat that the skipper can present as he steps up. Will it be?
Wow, an absolute rocket. Was
David Knight, number 9, scoring for Cheshunt. That was a powerful shot from distance there. It doubles the visitors' lead, and a mountain to climb now for Margate.
I was saying I felt like it was a little bit too far out for Miles with a curling effort, and up steps Knight with a powerful strike that kept rising into the roof of the net.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of Cheshunt fans absolutely delighted with that strike. And let's see what you've got, Margate. We know Charles Schultz, when we were in this position, can it be done again? As the ball is hooked, Connor Evans definitely onside for Margate, picks up play, looks at his options, finds Bancroft, gets an important touch, draws the players as Porter drives towards goal. Good marking, and he chases it down, and it is a Margate corner. Now this would be, any time is a good time to score, but this would be a very convenient time for Margate to halve the deficit and bring this game to life a little bit more. Killer blow from a cheap foul. Similar mistakes being made by the Gate this evening.
Yeah, it was a really unnecessary free kick to give away, although Kamara did play for it a bit, but they know the ability that they have from set pieces, and they're going to be looking for set pieces around the edge of the Margate box as Richards puts a corner in towards the back post. The header's there, and the referee says it's a goal kick, much to the protest from the Margate players.
Yeah, and fans behind the goal there really willing their team to carve open an opportunity. You do wonder whether the Gate will make a substitution, change things up a little bit. Noel Leighton might be a bit too early for him, but then Margate do need a goal.
Yeah, Noel Leighton did come on in the game away at Leatherhead. He is a striker who can get goals, and so I can imagine that Jay Saunders is looking at his bench and sees that as a potential option to maybe get back into this game.
As the ball comes forward there, Cheshunt again getting onto the ball, but Margate picking up possession, and they look to mount a charge as Richards in that right back role. An unfamiliar one, but one he's had to slot into because options have been on the Finn side. He plays it back, and Voss clears.
Good distance on this clearance, again towards Afua in the air. He's not going to win those against the centre half that Cheshunt have. They're so strong in the air.
Yeah, they're two big guys, and what Margate can potentially beat them on, pace, electricity, changing up play, it hasn't been done enough so far this game.
Newton now looking to bring this ball under possession, under the challenge of Porter and Burnett. Margate able to break the offside track with a ball into the corner towards the floor. Unfortunately, the wind makes the ball drift just out of play, and it's a throw-in as Margate look to make a substitution.
You do say the wind is picking up here in the gantry as well. The conditions deteriorating a little bit as Margate do make a change. It's Moncur coming off for Noel Leighton. We did predict it might be the substitution of choice as Margate search for a way back into this game. Great to see Leighton back after an Achilles injury, and I'm sure he will make his presence felt in between the centre-back pairing, who have had it a lot their way, shall we say. They're two very experienced defenders, marshalled obviously again by a very experienced goalkeeper. It's time for Margate to turn it up a notch. There's plenty of time left in this game.
Great challenge there from Swift on Knight, and with Leighton coming on, not only is he a goal threat, but he's so good to come back to add to the squad because it is threadbare at the moment, and it gives him an opportunity to get his fitness back as well. These good amount of minutes in this second half.
Yeah, he's come back with a hairband, so we'll forgive that if he scores a brace.
Good ball there from Fraser. Opportunity for Cheshunt with the cross from Newton, and it's cleared by Friend out for another throw-in deep in the Margate half, and it looks like Newton might go across to take this with his long throw-in.
I'm waiting for more of your Newton-esque puns. See how many more you can get in.
I need to look at Wikipedia before I get any more of those in.
We should have done our homework a bit more, shouldn't we, really? I was never any good at science anyway.
Well, I saw his name was Zach Newton. I didn't expect it to be Isaac.
Maybe it is, to be fair, because that's nickname, isn't it? God, look at what this game's done to us. Definitely going off topic.
It is a long throw from Newton and a good header away and a partial clearance, but Evans now has the opportunity to break, having nicked that ball off the Cheshunt attacker. There's a bit.
If he makes contact there, that's a foul. And again, maybe not naivety. You want to go for the ball, and you don't want to really see players playing for fouls. But yeah, cool.
For me, it's still a foul. He did disrupt.
It's intent, isn't there?
Yeah. Referee thought not. We're not the referees, and Cheshunt are able to build up another attack. Good challenge there from Burnett in the middle. Porter dinks the ball forward, can't find Leighton though. Interesting formation change with Leighton coming in playing through the middle, with John Ufa moving into his more familiar position of right wing attacker, with Bancroft coming out as a left wing forward.
So Margate, they're looking to maybe apply a bit more pressure. That high press they did so well against Hornchurch. It was so effective because you had the likes of Evans and Ufa involved with players. The ball again manages to loop the whole of the Margate defence.
Kamara has been a real thorn in the Margate defence side. He's been a real live wire in this match, and he's causing all kinds of havoc back there for the Margate defence.
Do you know what? I have a lot of sympathy for the Margate defence, because if the work rate was equal up the other end of the pitch, it's just far too easy for Cheshunt to launch these long balls forwards, inviting the pressure. You'd kind of expect maybe a little bit more pressure further up to help a little bit, and I certainly think that's the sentiments of the skipper as they have to defend yet another corner.
Yeah, it's Miles on this one. Crosses low towards Kamara, looking for his second goal of the game, and Vose is equal to it and able to tip it over the crossbar.
Yeah, good reactive save there from Voss. Gets a good strong hand to it.
Cheshunt really dominating proceedings here with a 2-0 lead, looking to extend that. Another great delivery, but the referee sees a foul, and to Margate's relief, it's a free kick.
Yeah, free kick there, and a bit of an easy one for the referee to call. They've got that hunger and desire, and they're not letting up. They're looking to really screw the knife in and inflict a defeat, as we get the introduction of new signing Samuel Ogole. Signs, having played for Billericay Town last year, he comes on in place of Toby Bancroft. It'll be interesting to see. I think he's going to slot into that right back position, releasing Jack Richards into his more familiar attacking role. Seems a really sensible move to make, and we'll get to see what the new Margate signing is all about, as we still have around about, let me check, how long have we got left in this game, Eric?
Just under half an hour.
So there we go, plenty of time. Only takes a minute to score a goal. And for Margate supporters tuned in this evening, they'll be looking to see their team put a bit more of a stamp on tonight's game. But fair play, I will say it, to the visitors. You've got to give credit where it was due. That strike from David Knight, not much the Margate goalkeeper could do there. An absolute rocket. I'm talking of rockets, Margate need one, don't they, to spearhead a comeback.
I think they got a rocket at half time, but it certainly hasn't helped get them back into this game. Chasing a 2-0 lead. Cheshunt really haven't let up since the start of the first half. They came out of the blocks absolutely flying.
And that's Leighton's first impact upon the game there, winning the foul, using his body effectively. And it could be in a decent position for the Gate if the whipped-in ball is on, or they might play it short. Cheshunt using the tactics that you would expect to frustrate the Gate, but it looks like Porter is going to whip the ball in. It is very windy conditions here, which I would suspect is a little bit off-putting. But the left
really late run here from Swift at the back, towards the back of the box, and Swift gets on it. A really good header, looks to Leighton, but that's fantastic defending there. And Cheshunt are able to clear their lines. Really good defending there from, I think it was Taylor McKenzie.
That's exactly what we've been crying out for over the last few weeks, isn't it? A Margate player in and around the 6-yard box.
Yeah, really clever play there from Swift. He joined the attack really late, so he wasn't picked up, and had a free run at that header, which he got on the end of.
Reece Prestige easily able to cut out that one as Ufua looks to press the ball, which is exactly what you need Margate to do, but he's managed to find the run of the Cheshunt number 11, and it's the first touch of the ball for new signing Ogole, who I imagine will just be given the instructions to keep it tight, keep it easy and efficient, and I guess we'll see as well what his attacking threat is like from that right back role.
Yeah, he's taking the throw-ins now on this right flank.
As the wind is picking up here, it's beginning to howl at Hartsdown Park. The long ball is released. Too much though for Evans to chase onto, and it's easily gathered by Gore, who hasn't had too much to do in this second half. I'm sure not nearly enough as the Margate management would like.
It goes to show the crucialness of that save, that fantastic tip over onto the crossbar from that curling effort from John Ufua. That would have given Margate a 1-0 lead, and following that, Cheshunt 2-0 ahead.
And Noel Leighton there managing to pick up the seconds. He finds the overlap and the ball on the right-hand side. What's the delivery like? It's a
Ogole caught in two minds there, whether to cross or run with it, and in the end does neither and kicks it out for a goal kick.
Unlucky there for Samuel Ogole, and Cheshunt will take their time, I'm sure, with this goal to kick. We've had another message come in from Ballum Guy. Can I get a mention on the YouTube, please? I'm watching the game from London. Well, there you go. Thank you for joining us. We hope you're enjoying the match and the free live stream here from Hartsdown Park. If you're just joining us this evening, it is 2-0 to the visitors. They've enjoyed a strong start to the Isthmian League as well, and Margate were unbeaten until this point. They're going to have a lot of work to do to keep that up. There is still plenty of time as Jack Richards picks up the ball in the right-hand corner. I imagine now, as the game and the minutes tick by, Cheshunt will really be tightening up their defence, taking their time and putting men behind the ball to prevent Margate from getting a sniff back into this game.
Yeah, we've seen them trying to slow the game down, and a bit of a cynical foul there to break up play. Now the referee's asking for Richards to take the ball back to the position of the foul, looking to get play underway quickly.
There's plenty of games going on in the Isthmian League this evening as well. Some teams already beginning to build up a run of steam. Cray Wanderers have certainly hit the season running, and Lewis are at home this evening as well, where the Gate will be travelling to the Dripping Pan. And they lead 1-0 in their game. I think that might be a first win for them if that scoreline stays like that.
Margate giving a bit of possession away, opportunity for Cheshunt, but the ball's just a bit too long and it runs out of play.
Leatherhead are beating Worthing, which is perhaps an unpredicted result so far. Well, it's not a result, it's a current score, because Worthing again are looking like real potential favourites for the league this year. Another good footballing side that Margate will be hosting at home this month.
Yeah, Saturday the 17th of October.
Looked like a little bit of something was left on the 17-year-old there, but he dusts himself off and goes again, that good old footballing cliche. As Swift finds Friend, he's looking for some options, but there's no Margate player around.
Cheshunt continue to press, with Knight pressing goalkeeper Vose into an early clearance. No blue shirts are in the vicinity of where the ball lands, and again it's sent back towards the Margate goal. Not a lot of respite here for the Gate, as Cheshunt looking to build up another head of steam to build on their 2-0 lead. Kamara causing trouble again as Knight looks to bring that ball down the edge of the box. There's an opportunity here for Newton, just looking for a bit of space, lays it off, shot from distance, and that's straight into the mid-wrist of goalkeeper Vose.
All hands on deck there as Margate defend to keep the scoreline at 2-0. You can't help but feel if Margate get a goal, we know they've ended games strongly in recent weeks. There's still some faith here, that's for sure, as Friend gets his head on the ball. Noel Layton's out of play, but Evans certainly isn't, and he can ask some questions of the Cheshunt centre-back, which he does, and it's exactly what Margate need. That little bit of work rate sometimes can craft and open up opportunities. As Richards picks up play, he finds Porter. I've always liked those two combining. A real strength for Margate as a great ball gets whipped in. Layton is looking to sniff it out and forces the clearance. It's a corner for Margate. Bit of deja vu potentially right now as Richards looks to line it up.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago that a Richards corner met by a leaping header by Swift. Got the goal for Margate against Hornchurch in the same goal. Let's hope to see a repeat of something like that right now.
It would be good, and it would certainly make it an entertaining final quarter to this evening's game, as Richards finds a great ball, and Layton was there, but Gore was there as well.
Yeah, a great commanding goalkeeper, really taking the pressure off his defenders there to keep their clean sheet intact.
He rolls the ball out to Mackenzie, who's been very solid alongside his centre-back
great
pairing.
delivery, finds Newton, who lays it off for Kamara. Kamara had an opportunity to strike on goal. It set up really nicely for him, but he was just leaning back and it sailed over the crossbar and over the stand.
And it's the final substitution of the evening. Archie Burnett comes off in place of Carey.
The last throw of the dice here for manager Jay Saunders. Carey's looked really promising in spits and spurts in pre-season and the early start of the season. Let's hope for a bit of magic from him to hopefully bring Margate back into this game.
Well, we know that Margate, when they get the ball down, they're a good footballing team, and Carey is a catalyst for that technically. We saw his ability in pre-season. So again, a good substitution to make a good time, and let's hope that Carey can have an impact on today's game in the middle of the park. It's been a bit of a sticky area for Margate in this 90 minutes. Let's see what he can do.
Porter under pressure, does well to get distance on his clearance. Header inside of play from Fraser. and it's picked up by Crowther, who gives it away, and it gives an opportunity here for new signing Agole to open his legs. Looks for Afua. Agole's not had the brightest of starts to his Margate career, given possession away a couple of times already. Hopefully he'll find his feet in a few moments' time.
Yeah, thrown in the deep end as Margate are 2 goals down with about 15 minutes left to play here at Hartstown Park. They've come across a really resilient, hard-working team who have taken their chances, and certainly the second strike was a stunner that I'm sure you can watch back on the highlights if you so wish. I certainly think you will if you're a Cheshunt fan. If you're a Margate supporter, perhaps not so much.
Opportunity now for Agole to redeem himself, and he finds the feet of Afua, who cuts inside. Margate looking to build another attack with Carey in possession, just looking for an opening. No luck here for them as the ball breaks and goes out for a throw-in near the halfway line.
And the intensity will have to go up a notch now as Margate look to find a way back into this evening's game. Building up a few passes, the ball goes back to Vos. They're going to have to be a bit more direct in the final stages of this game, looking for the forward passes at any opportunity to break down, as we've said many times, an organised and resolute Cheshunt back four as Reece Prestige looks to get his body in the way. I think Kamara's probably been a standout performer, his work rate impressive, and obviously he got the goal.
Yeah, Kamara's got a really strong presence, and he's certainly done brilliantly on his hold-up play and linking up with his attacking partners. From a Margate perspective, something that we haven't seen is really utilising the width of the pitch. We've tried a lot down through the middle of the pitch and haven't had a lot of success, and maybe that is an avenue to explore in these closing moments of this game.
Again, the visitors there showing they are not done and dusted in this game. They want a third goal, looking to catch Margate a little bit cold, but fortunately the pass was long and it goes out for a goal kick. It's a risky run when you push bodies forward, but at this stage in the game you're just going to roll and throw the dice.
Yeah, not a lot to lose really. Opportunity to get back in this game. Leighton cleverly drawing a foul there and takes a free kick quickly. Richards looking to Carey, he finds him in a bit of space, who plays it outside to Agole. Agole considering his options, a good pass into the feet of Carey, who shoots from distance and unfortunately misses the target there.
I think Noel Leighton there gets his body about, doesn't he, and manages to induce the foul.
Yeah, I understand manager Craig Edwards' frustration from a Cheshunt perspective. It did look like Leighton was backing into the defender there, and the referee took Leighton's side, giving a free kick to Margate there.
And McMara getting the head on it first. Can Margate sniff out the seconds as Leighton gets a good first touch? Doesn't get the foul on that occasion.
Miles nicks the ball off of him there, and Giuseppe Reid does a delightful long ball towards goal scorer Knight, but Knight's in an offside position. Looks to be an injury here for Mohamed Kamara, the Frenchman, down right on the halfway line here.
He receives a little bit of treatment, and I'm sure again it's a bit of sportsmanship at this phase. He definitely deserves a little bit of a rest after his display.
They haven't stopped running, the Cheshunt players, really high intensity, and from a Margate perspective, I think with such a young side it's quite normal to see quite a lot of inconsistent performances. So they have had some really strong performances so far in the league, and perhaps tonight's not been one of them, but hopefully they'll be able to bounce back on Saturday for the away trip to Lewis at the Dripping Pan.
Yeah, it's always a great trip to the Dripping Pan, but I think the thing is with tonight's performance, you can maybe afford a couple of your players to have off evenings, but far too many in the first half were just kind of outworked. I think is probably the biggest disappointment, particularly in the final third. They needed to be as aggressive and get in the faces of the the Cheshunt defence, and it was somewhat lacking, and we can hear it because the Margate defence were imploring their teammates to try and get the ball to stick up there. But Leighton, I think, has probably beaten the offside trap, but unfortunately, again, the pass is a little bit too long, and Gore will take his time to gather it.
It's been quite surprising to see Cheshunt players with so much energy today, given that they did play in the FA Cup on Saturday, and it was a really intensive affair, and they obviously exerted a lot of energy, but they've come here really bright, really dynamic, and taken their chances really well, dominating the game ultimately.
And it is good when you know you're playing well as a team, you've got that energy and you're winning that second ball or you're picking up play. It boosts you and it gives you momentum, which again is why it's so important when you're the home team to stamp that out. And we saw Margate do that on a number of occasions so far this season as Carey looks to win back the ball. Ufa has been slightly more quiet on that right-hand side. I guess he's kind of, again, having to show that flexibility to merge into different formations.
Doesn't look good then. I think that was Knight. He turned angles there and went down. It looks like just a slip as we see rain fall down here in this second half. It's really coming down and the wind is picking up, so the surface is getting a bit more slippery.
Porter there with the run. He gives the throw in for Margate as it really begins to, the tempo of the game, not so much, but the tempo of the rain, the heavens begin to open here at Hartsdown Park. Margate are going to need to show some grit and some determination to get back in this game as Carey bombs forward, but Cheshunt again doing the bits you need to do when you're 2-0 up. The skipper had a very impressive game. But a massive shout out to the Margate supporters who have come down this evening. There hasn't been too much for them to cheer about, but they're stood out here in the rain, supporting their side at a time when, of course, it is so important to hit the terraces if possible. And I think that's probably the biggest disappointment as well. Apart from Ufa's shot, there hasn't been too much else for the Margate fans to cheer about.
No, but if that goes in, that makes the game completely change perspective, and perhaps Margate would have had a completely different result tonight, perhaps being the lead if that did go in.
Of course, yeah, with hindsight you look at key moments of fixtures like that, but I think again there was just so much opportunity for Margate to take the game by the scruff of the neck and bring it to Cheshunt, and to their credit they've looked organised, they've come with a clear game plan and been able to have it, well, a largely comfortable evening, I think. So we will speak to manager Jay Saunders after tonight's game, and I guess the good thing about having such a busy fixture schedule is that you don't have to wait too long to put a poor performance to bed.
Yeah, Rose switching play there, finding Porter. Friend now in possession, looking at his options. Elects to go back to Vose.
Quicker! Quicker! Move it quicker!
Manager Jay Saunders asking his Margate players to play the ball a bit quicker with a bit more pace. Ufa turning well there, finds a goalie. Lays it back to Swift. Carey in the centre of the park here, finds the feet of Porter.
And Porter's always such a good offering on that left-hand side. And that's a great curling ball down the left-hand flank. They're asking some more questions of the visitors. And some doubt now about playing and getting the ball down. We saw it for the last few games that Margate can match anyone in terms of the footballing quality that they've got on the ball, as Carey looks to play a quick pass, but it's picked up, and the ball again
Anywhere will
goes to the
do
car park.
for the Cheshunt defenders, and it gives them an opportunity with a break in play to make a substitution, with number 16 Eamon Gabeu coming on for number 7 Isaac Newton.
One last chance to mention.
Not from me.
Don't really know what the delay is. Oh yeah, of course, it's the customary stroll when you're 2-0 up.
And the substitution of the player on the furthest away part of the pitch when you've got a 2-0 lead.
I mean, please, mate, hurry it up just for our sake here in the gantry. It's we're right in the firing line of this lovely drizzle.
The drizzle and the wind.
But we love it. We wouldn't beat it. We know how lucky we are, aren't we? Let fans in. is very much the words on supporters' lips at the moment. And we've been really fortunate here at Margate to be able to welcome supporters for a couple of months now. So even if it is a wet, cold evening and on a Tuesday, there's nowhere we'd rather be, Eric. We haven't had the subscribers or the watchers from like Mauritius or other hot countries, have we?
It's a strong but fair challenge there from Richards. Opportunity now to pick out Prestige. Prestige running into goalkeeper Gore, who's taking the opportunity to get some attention from the referee. I think he's going to be
a gust of wind would do more damage than what Prestige did there. We know it's just the tactics that you quite rightfully can employ when you're 2-0 up away from home. Yeah, but I'm sure the referee won't have much time for it.
Yeah, there's no need for the tackle, the challenge there. I think there's a bit of frustration.
I don't think, has he given it as a foul? I don't think it is it?
It's a drop ball, but there's no need for Prestige to put one on the goalkeeper there.
Oh, dearie me, this rain.
It's been a frustrating evening for the Margate players and fans as well. Again, Kamara winning a header and finding his strike partner, Knight, who shoots, and it's a good save from Vose. Margate haven't quite cleared. It looks like claims of handball. The referee says no. Margate survived that attack, and there's a chance for Richards to get an attack underway.
I'm wincing here because if that's the Premier League, you know it's getting given. But fortunately for us, we don't have to. And the visitors, again, I will give them their credit. They have been relentless. They want a third. Yeah. And they've came very close to getting it as they're lining up. And that could be a yellow as well for Swifty there. I think just again the signs of a tired defence that have had their work cut out for them all evening. Probably needed a bit more support from the ones in front, but leaving Margate very exposed.
Yeah, there's some remonstrations asking for a penalty there, but it looks like both players are outside of the box, and so it doesn't look like it was in the box.
But unfortunately, it doesn't make much difference when it's the number 9 who's already on the score sheet, looks to step up and take it. I'm sure if it was us, we would be screaming for a penalty in those circumstances, but fortunately for Margate, it doesn't get given, but they do, however, have to stand firm to the threat of this set-piece central. It's in a good position.
Yeah,
for the trio of Cheshunt players looking to line it up. Will goal scorer David Knight bag a brace? No, he won't.
He nearly did. A really good shot, but it was on the goalkeeper's side. You'd expect him to save it, and Vose did get down well to batter that one away. Another substitution here for Cheshunt, with goal scorer David Knight coming on. That was his last piece of action, taking that free kick. And we've got number 14, Adam Cunnington, coming on in his place.
A straight switch for Cheshunt there. Like we say, it seems like they've got a real taste for getting a third goal this evening. As Knight is encouraged to get a bit of a trot on as we enter the final phases. The visitors have got a long journey home, but if the score remains like this and they take 3 points, it will be an enjoyable one home.
Yeah, it certainly won't feel as long a journey home if they come away with less points than they're going to. But there still may be a chance for a spirited comeback from Margate. Until the whistle goes, there's always time. But it looks like Cheshunt are the more dangerous side here as another effort goes in. It's deflected and runs through to the goalkeeper, who looks to get play underway again quickly.
As Noel Leighton looks to play quickly, but not being read by his teammate John Ufa there. Carey does find the number 9 as they look to string a few passes together, but it's just been the theme of this evening so far. Leighton looking to work with the scraps to carve out an opportunity as the ball heads towards the Margate defence. Carey on the ball, assesses his options. Well left by Prestige for Richards. Like I said, I love this little partnership between Richards and Porter. It's a shame manager Jay Saunders wasn't able to start with it due to the injury to Sessignon. And I tell you what, we can have Cheshunt supporters every week on this commentary. Some really lovely feedback, thanking us and saying you can't say a bad word about the stream. Great quality, friendly, unbiased commentary. Thank you very much. That's the thing, we do try and say it how we see it and fairly, and credit to the visitors this evening, completely merited the victory. And I think if you're a Margate supporter tuned in, do share your feedback as well. I guess just the important thing is a lack of intensity from the off, really. What would you say, Eric? What's your assessment?
I think that they've come up against a really experienced side, and they got their tactics spot on from the start, really, putting Margate to the sword from the early phases and didn't relent until they got their goals, really. So in the end, a fair result.
I think it's been a frustrating evening and the players won't need to know it. Well, no, they've performed well under their own standards that they've set for themselves, really. I don't feel like I'm out of place saying that. They've worked really hard throughout pre-season, been on a good unbeaten run so far, and I guess it's just kind of unexpected and uncharacteristic. The work rate we've been praising week on week just has felt a little bit.
Richard's doing really well to find Ufa down this channel, but it's really well read there by defender Crowfire, and he clears his lines and puts it out for a Margate throw. Swift in possession, looking to move the ball quickly. He finds Friend with a bit of space here. Friend to Prestige.
And the victory, if it stays, I mean, unless there's a real resurgent comeback in the final minutes of this game, the win will move Cheshunt up the table. They've had a good start to the campaign so far, and they've responded well to the disappointment of the FA Cup exit. There are 4 minutes left in this evening's game. Can Margate pull off a remarkable comeback? We certainly hope so, because we're wearing the Margate blue. We've seen stranger things happen at Hartsdown Park.
New signing there, Bigole finding Carey, and the ball finds its way to number 4 Prestige. Margate looking to build an attack up down this right hand side. The cross is deflected makes its way towards Leighton, but it goes out, and it's a corner now for Margate. Last chance saloon to get back into this game.
I tell you what, it would just be good to slice the deficit and make the final few minutes uncomfortable for the visitors, and also give this Margate contingent something to cheer about. They've been incredible coming out on a Tuesday evening.
It's a good delivery towards a packed 6-yard area. The opportunity's still there. It's a bit of a scrap in the middle of the pitch. Good save there, a little bit unorthodox, and it makes its way behind. Absolute ping ball in the 6-yard Cheshunt box there, and Margate not able to take the advantage.
If you're a Margate supporter, that is your evening summed up. Cheshunt chucking every single body to block the path.
Real determination in their defending to keep a clean sheet there.
Big winner, Anders! Great winner, man!
They want that clean sheet, that's for sure. Can Margate ping another ball into the box?
Another delivery and another Amber head to clear that away, and the referee gives a foul on the edge of the Cheshunt box, and some more relief here for the Cheshunt defence after they were applied under probably the most pressure they've been under all game just then.
You can hear a pin drop now at Hartsdown Park. I think it's safe to say it hasn't been the display Margate fans had hoped for. And Cheshunt now will look to see out the game, keep it solid, keep it professional, take the 3 points and possibly the clean sheet.
And a couple of big lads up top there. Cunnington winning that header and winning the foul, going down quite easily. Looks like he got caught there slightly, but
I think that's quite a harsh one on Prestige there. His body's turned away. He might be aware of the man behind him. He can't see it, but there we go. It's another set piece opportunity. The skipper's lined up to take it as Cunnington looks to make the run and pours out wide.
Manager Edwards asking Marks to have a shot, and the shot is straight
at Prestige.
Prestige, and good defending there from the Margate man.
We're entering the final few minutes here on Gate TV. Thank you for your company, for joining us. We hope you have enjoyed the live stream. Like we say, if you do want to leave a donation to the 12th Man scheme, do hit up the button. It would be greatly appreciated. Not the result we wanted here. It's the unbeaten run looks to have come to an end. But the chance to go again this Saturday against Lewis.
Cheshunt still battling away to the final moment here, really looking for another goal. Leighton not able to bring that one down, and it's a throw in here. And Fraser being asked by his coaching staff to take his time with this throw in.
Tight line, tight line.
They're getting their instructions in the final minutes there from the sidelines. Very clear instructions to keep it tight, keep it defence-minded. As Noel Leighton charges down the left-hand flank, can he carve up an opportunity? He's managed to win his team the throw-in. As the Margate team are pushing forwards, hungry for some kind of response in this evening's game, which is good to see.
It can be said that Margate haven't given up at any stage in this game, still battling to the last moments. And that is the last moment as the referee calls a halt to proceedings here, and the final score ends Margate 0, Cheshunt 2.